This is the day after, and as you can see, everything is still looking really good. All I've done now, so after all the coloring and toning and stuff, I added all the leftover blonde to the tips of the one that I attached. So that's where I have a little bit of length from. But yeah, for the most part, everything is the same. But I think the process came out really good this time. And I think that this is probably how I'm gonna move forward in like my coloring processes, is to just bleach it and tone it instead of using like a blonde dye. And the reason is because it's kind of like a two-step process, right? Like, whereas if you just bleach the hair, you just remove the color and then it's finished, and all you have to worry about is like toning until you dye. Whereas if you use like a box dye or like a coloring dye, not that the coloring wasn't bad, it was good, but I feel like then you still have like to counteract the orangeness and all of that stuff. Whereas if you just bleached it, it's finished, right? And plus, all these blonde dyes, like my hair is dark, right? It's like dark brown. It's not completely black, but it's like the darkest brown before black, right? At the end of the day, like all these blonde dyes will still have ammonia and peroxide in them and bleaching agents, because there's no way I can go from like having super dark hair to having blonde hair, right? Like with a box dye without having peroxide or ammonia or bleach in that. It's impossible. It's just impossible, right? So instead of going through all these steps, I'm just gonna skip the box dye from now on and just go straight to the bleach. And I think it's a lot easier parting it down the middle and doing two processes, one side first and then the other side, because that way you're not rushing. You just take your time, you apply the bleach, and it took me like 5 or 6 minutes to do one side, and I just sat and it processed, and I only kept it on for 20 minutes. So basically I applied the bleach, and then as soon as I finished applying it, I put the timer on for 20 minutes, but I washed it out kind of like in the 17-minute, 18-minute mark, to be quite honest. And then I did the other side, right? And I washed it out after 20 minutes, and then I did it again, but the second time around I left it only for 10 minutes. So I applied it super messily to the whole head, which is why I'm telling you, part your hair in sections and just do it twice and just save yourself the trouble and the damage and all of that stuff. I mean, it's damage, but like, the extra damage. So yeah, by doing that, honestly, this process, it took a really long time. Like the whole thing took about like 3.5 hours, to be quite honest. But I'm like very satisfied. Like there are no patches, I mean, except for like this 2 rows, but that's a different story because that's from red to brownish blonde, whatever. But for the rest of the hair, like I'm not mad at all, like everything came out very even. There are no patches, the color is like even and consistent, and I'm happy, I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm good. So this is how I think I'm going to continue moving forward. Like as it grows out, I'm just going to bleach it and tone it and just call it a day, and that way yeah, it's all good. So let me know if you have any questions down below. I use 30 volume developer and blue bleach, not white bleach, just the blue bleach. I just got it from some beauty supply store in Chateau d'Eau. If you know where that is in Paris, then you know. If you don't know, well, Chateau d'Eau. Okay. Obviously my hair is dry now, as it always is once I've dyed it. So I've oiled my scalp with my oil like I normally do, and I've put in my leave-in conditioner, and I'm going to continue doing that for the next 2 weeks because it's going to be dry. It's going to feel like that for the next 2 weeks. Like this is almost my 4th time around, so I know this process, and after that it will go back to being normal. It's been a long time coming, right? We started off with like the golden brown, the golden, the blonde, the yellow blonde, the orange blonde, and now we're here with the ashy blonde. I think we finally made it, guys. We finally made it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps one of you guys to make up your mind or decide which products to use for dyeing your hair. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the whole process. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.